Assalamu alaikum. How are you, my dear students and my followers and my subscribers? As I promised you, today I will continue in explaining IELTS skills. Today I will talk about IELTS reading test. In this lesson, we'll talk about many important concepts in IELTS reading test. Point one, I will talk about the format of the reading IELTS test. The time for the reading IELTS test is 60 minutes. There will not be extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers as in the IELTS section in the paper-based test. There are two kinds, general training and academic. They will have different sections and passages. As for the academic, there are 3 passages. Each passage has 3 types of questions. But in the general training, there are 3 sections. Each section has 2 shorter passages. Each passage has 1 type of question. Now, number of questions in the reading test is 40 questions. Each question is worth 1 mark. Now, answers don't usually come in order as in the listening test. As for the spelling, you need to copy your answers from the text. Answer sheet has 2 sides. One, as we mentioned before, one side for reading and one side for listening. I'm talking about in case you take a paper-based test. Band score range from 0 to 9, no failing grade. So if you get, there is no failing grade, I mean there is no passing or failing mark. You can get 2 out of 9 and 3 out of 9. It depends on your performance and achievement. Always we have this question, what are types of questions in reading test? Here we have first, completion, notice, summary, table, flow chart, sentence completion. The second type is multiple choice, short answer questions, labeling diagram, short answer questions and labeling diagram. This is another kind. Also, we can add this labeling diagram, identifying information, true, false, not given, identifying the writer views or claims, yes, no, not given, and this considered as one of the most difficult types of questions. Matching, we need to match sentence endings, features, information headings, information or headings. Sometimes we have multiple matching, this in the general training only. These are types of questions in the reading test. What are the tips and the tricks that we need to focus on them? Features of the passage. Features of the passage like title, subtitle, pictures, captions, etc. They help you to understand what this passage talk about. What about timing? A lot of students spend most of their time on passage 1 and 2 or section 1 and 2. Then they don't have time for passage 3. In the academic, try to finish each passage in less than 20 minutes. Some teachers, they suggest numbers of minutes. They say 17 for the passage 1 and then 19 for section 2 or passage 2, then the rest time for the remaining time, for passage 3. In the general training, don't spend more than 30 minutes in section 1 and 2. So you need to finish section 1 and 2 in 30 minutes. We can say in 15 and 15 minutes, or 14 and 16 minutes, and you need 30 minutes for section 3 or for passage 3. This in the general training. Types of questions. You should know how to deal with each type of question. What I mean by this, that in some questions, in most of the questions, you need to read the question first, then you go back to the passage. Of course, in case of true-false questions, you need to read the passage, then you go back to the questions. Word count. Pay attention to the number of words you need to write, because if they ask to write 2 words and you write 3 words, then your answer is wrong. It's not correct. Types of information. You need to know what do you need to look for to answer a question. So you have to know what type of information that you're looking for. Paraphrasing again. In reading test as well, paraphrasing is very important, as it's important in listening part, because most of listening and reading depends on paraphrasing. Most of the questions and keywords will be paraphrased. Cohesive devices. All reading passages contain cohesive devices to help explain how the ideas are connected together. Of course, you can go and read about cohesive devices and how they are relating or connecting the passage together. Argumentative text. You need to be aware of the writer's overall tone. Grammatical features. Of course, you need to be aware of parts of speech needed. So, if the answer is preceded by verb, then you can't answer by verb, for example. Or if the answer is in sequence of plurals, then as we mentioned in the listening, then you need a plural. So you need to be careful and aware of the grammatical features. Test taking skills, don't just focus on them. Improve your language in general. So you can't go to IELTS or sit to IELTS test and take a high band score without, if you are not well prepared, if your level in English is not good. As they say, before you prepare for the IELTS test, or when you are preparing for IELTS test, you need to focus on your skills in English and in general, and your skills in IELTS all together. Practical steps a test taker should do to solve questions on a reading passage. The instructions. We need to read the instructions carefully so that you know what you need to do. Step 2. Read for guessed. What does it mean? Read the passage as quickly as possible, up to 3 minutes. Then, read the questions. Look at the questions to see what type of information you need to find, up to 1 minute. Read in detail. Spend 12 to 30 minutes reading the passage in detail and answering questions, also intensive or scanning. Step 5. Skipping some questions. Of course, you need to skip some questions. If a question is taking too long time, mark it and move on. Get back to it in a while. So you don't need to spend it. It's just worth for 1 mark. You don't need to spend 5 minutes on one question. This happen with the test takers, especially in yes no questions. Yes no not given questions. Step 6, transferring your answers. Transferring your answers. Use your last 3 to 4 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. If it is a paper-based test, then you need to transfer your answer to the answer sheet. So don't forget that. You will not have extra time, 10 minutes as in the listening part to transfer your answers. Last step, checking. You need to check and fill any gaps in your question paper and the answer sheet. That's all about IELTS reading test or IELTS reading part. So what I'm telling you, if you love reading, reading will love you. If you love reading, reading will love you. So you need to read and read and read to improve your reading skills. If you like the video, click on the like and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and turn on notification to get each and every new videos about IELTS and about the English language in general. Thank you very much. See you.